Yeah. Hello and welcome to the NAMIC Leadership Seminar graduation for the September 2022 cohort. We are delighted and grateful that you would take the time to join us as we celebrate 28 phenomenal individuals who have done some incredible work, not only over the last few days, but the last month when we officially kicked off this session. I am Dr. Juanita Daly, and I've had the immense privilege and honor of serving as the lead facilitator for this session. It is my practice to begin with gratitude, so please allow me a moment to express my personal thanks as we get underway. This cohort heard from several remarkable speakers, some of whom are joining us today. So I want to begin with saying thank you to Ms. Tina Dyer, Dr. Martha Miller, Mr. John Kabara, and Dr. Jeffrey Robinson for your deposit of knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration. An undertaking like this requires organizational expertise as well as a genuine spirit of excellence and service. So it is with deep appreciation that I acknowledge the tireless work of Ms. Stephanie Snyder, who kept the seminar running smoothly. This leadership seminar would not be what it was without the enthusiastic participation of our graduates. Thank you for your energy, your vulnerability, your humility, and generosity as you worked together. Your presence made this seminar what it was. And shortly, we will hear from several of you who represent this cohort by sharing your experiences and lessons learned. And afterwards, we will acknowledge all of our graduates and present a few of you with some special awards before we conclude our time. Now, as I conclude, I want to thank the National Association for Multi-Ethnicity in Communications, NAMIC, for their steadfast commitment to educating, advocating, empowering, and leading the charge and the change for multi-ethnic diversity in the communications industry. This is in part due to the amazing work of two exceptionally talented warriors named Amy Kemp and Anne-Marie Burton, who I am pleased to introduce and hand the program over. Anne-Marie.
Wow, Dr. Daly, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to echo everything you said and to congratulate our graduates today. Thank you, thank you. I want to thank all our sponsors, our talent management leaders, and outstanding faculty that Dr. Daly just mentioned. I am so pleased to welcome each and every one of you to this graduation. It is where we get to celebrate the connections, the learning, the reflection, and truly the transformation that has taken place over the course of 5 days. On behalf of NAMIC, we are deeply honored that each of you selected us to be a part of your talent and leadership development journey. NAMIC for more than 20 years has been the leading partner that has helped companies really develop what I call future-ready leaders and teams. Our programs such as this one, NAMIC the Leadership Seminar, our Leading Inclusive Teams, our Strategic Management Series, and the award-winning Executive Leadership Development Program, known as ELDP, has over 2,000 alumni. That's a testament to the amazing leaders that have gone through our program over time. And, you know, as we look at data over time and what I do, especially as a strategist and as a workforce development expert, it is rare to get unanimous agreement on anything these days. But one thing's for sure, over 97% of employers now believe that they must improve their approach of developing high potential talent, at least within 1 to 2 years. It has never been this precise before. We normally talk about workforce, future 2030, 2040. And now we're really realizing that that shift needs to happen in a very small window. And this really goes beyond early career managers and to really creating what is top to bottom workforce that can inspire, that can lead, that has an acute understanding of inclusion in every facet of the word, that really looks at the tenets of diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as that strategic imperative for growth. So to our outstanding cohort, thank you for investing in yourselves. Thank you for investing in your potential and investing in your now. It has been my distinct pleasure and that of all the faculty to teach, to coach, to laugh, to empower, to decompress, and to explore with each and every one of you. This is what I hope is the beginning of a lifelong relationship that you will have not only with NAMIC, but with each other as you both grow and as you give back. NAMIC is here for you. Thank you for entrusting us with this first, if not second step. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne Marie. And speaking of our cohort, I would love to share a fabulous picture of the awesome individuals who we have had the pleasure of sharing space with this week. Take a good look at not only the future, but the now. And now I would like to introduce some incredible individuals who are going to share their experiences on behalf of their cohorts and their groups. They will go in this order. So I'd like to introduce them in totality now, and they will just follow one behind the other. We will begin with Maria Medina, followed by Alexandra Havens, Tanisha Jador, Vivian Burnett, and Tracy Steel. Maria, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I would like to first thank Dr. Daly, Anne Marie, Tina, Martha, Dr. Robinson, and John for being engaging facilitators that not only taught us through the formalized and planned content, but shared their stories with us, teaching through their experiences and personal growth. I would be remiss if I did not thank Stephanie for keeping everything running, including us, facilitating our fun and relaxing wellness breaks. This week drove me to reflect on my personal journey in a meaningful way. I knew that this program would be informative, and I expected to walk away from it with new skills. And while all of that happened, I gained a deeper insight into my dreams and goals. My career did not start with a plan. I was bilingual and leveraged that skill to lead the launching of the first Spanish language book club in the country. It was a fantastic opportunity, and I learned that I loved working in corporate America. And for years, I worked on instinct and common sense, learning from watching others navigate their day and applying what worked for me. Over time, I realized that work ethic and natural ability can only get you so far. I needed a more formalized education to teach me the tools that would get me to the next stage of my career. Unaware that programs like NAMIC existed, I read books, completed certifications, and searched for mentors. Employee resource groups became a part of my journey, and through them, I learned about programs like NAMIC. I added it to my career growth plan. It has been a plan for me for several years, but after this week, I know I was not ready. It was not the right cohort. It was not the right team too before September 19th, 2022. The things I have learned in breakout sessions and tea discussions this week have been transformational. Dr. Robinson taught us about the forms of capital and the characteristics of networking. And John shared how to prepare for that brief introductory talk. Our discussions, however, emphasized their value as we evolved from a 15-minute connection to answer our tea questions to 45-minute conversations that had us rushing to complete our tea responses, and following Anne Marie's recommendation to create a What's Up chat to continue our discussion beyond this week. Team 2 is ending this week with accountability partners, a stronger network, refreshed perspective, a renewed commitment to our dreams and goals, and knowing that our network is our net worth. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Maria covered all the thank yous that I was going to say, so I will focus a little more on the takeaways from our team. I am Allie Havens. I'm a producer at ESPN. I'm representing Team 1, and those members are Sabrina, Tank, Algin, Gil, and Saravana. I asked our team yesterday to send me some of their main takeaways from the seminar, and I'd just like to read some of the words and phrases that stood out. Self-worth, diverse experiences, comfort zone, vulnerable, belonging, eye-opening. In the last week, we've learned about how to expand our networks, how to effectively listen and communicate with others, and specifically those we manage. But most importantly, we learned about our gaps and where we can best improve as leaders. The exercises that we did focus on not only focused on how we view ourselves, but how we are potentially viewed by others and by those we work with. One of my teammates said, when others see themselves in leaders that look like them, those marginalized employees will be more excited about growing their careers in those organizations. Personally, I learned a lot from the seminar, but I really learned a lot from the other participants. As a person who is still a rising leader and a minority leader at my company, I really wanted to pick my teammates' brains about their experiences in their fields, and I asked them for advice a lot. So for those of you who are joining us today who endorse someone in this cohort, or to those who are leaders and managers of my teammates here, if you're wondering if this seminar was worth the time and the resources, I can say firsthand that your employees have already had a positive impact on me, and I have no doubts that they will continue to be strong leaders for your company. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Happy Friday, everyone. My name is Tanisha Gerador, and I'm a supervisor in Central Care Division for Comcast. And with pleasure today, I was nominated to represent Group 4. As quoted this week, people are just as wonderful as sunsets if you let them be. When I look at a sunset, I don't find myself saying, soften the orange a bit on the right-hand corner. I don't try to control a sunset. I watch with awe as it unfolds, as quoted by Carl Rogers. I must say, we all have unfolded another layer of development this week by attending this wonderful seminar. Group 4 would like to say thank you to all the members of NAMIC and guest speakers for a great course. Great presentations with lots of dialogue, active listening, and creating a safe place for fresh insights, which made this a very enjoyable and informative course. So, who does Group 4 consist of? Group 4 consisted of Fernando Lopez, Audrey Talbert, Tracy Joseph, and O.D. Intuk. We learned this week, your story impacts your career, as it's who you are. So in Group 4, we are eager, engaging, visionary, diverse, inspirational, and creative leaders that are self-aware and prioritize professional development, as NAMIC was able to add more gems to each and every one of those buckets this week. Over the last week, we learned so many things, but Group 4 key takeaways were networking, investing in your network, how diverse our networks are, and what kind of networks we have created. We also took a standout strengths assessment, which allowed us to have a better understanding of how people perceive us rather than how we perceive ourselves. Being a kind leader and setting smarter goals will lead us to make better choices and drive better results. And lastly, to raise up, embrace and express all that you are so that you can show up going forward. We would like to actually conclude by giving some special shout outs. I'll start with myself. I would like to give a shout out to my director, Sam Ibrahim, manager, Kimberly Weaver, and my mentor, Ralph Sullivan, for believing in me, supporting me, continuously instilling knowledge in me, and lastly, investing in my personal growth. Fernando Lopez would like to give a special shout out to his manager, Oscar Romas. Audrey Talbert would like to give a special shout out to Scott Bullock for nominating her for this course and trusting her within their program. Tracy Joseph would like to give a special thank you to Carol Dunoff, the CPO of Warner Brothers Discovery, for nominating her for this program and supporting her professional growth. Lastly, O.D. Intup would like to give a thank you to his wife, Adele Harris, for attending and supporting him through his career growth. So in summary, from Group 4 to our NAMIC September cohort, we want to leave you with remembering you belong here, you matter to us, and let's help each other going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha. I am Vivian Burnett, and I work at Urban One. The NAMIC Leadership Seminar was more than I hoped for. It really made me think about who I am and who I want to be both professionally and personally. It also gave me a new network of possibilities. I'm open to connecting with anyone at any time. The sessions provided insights about ourselves and highlighted the skills and resources that can help make each of us a more inclusive leader who listens transformationally, gives kudos to others, and understands the importance of bringing people together who have different ideas. The standout assessment, smarter goals worksheets, and other assignments brought out our inherent traits and qualities and gave us ways to develop them further. In the breakout sessions, we interacted and provided unique viewpoints to broaden our understanding. We shared stories and anecdotes that helped us practice the skills to gain new awareness and an appreciation for dialogue. More importantly, we just took the time to listen. These are some of the takeaways from Group 3. We have garnered a knowledge of our individual strengths and weaknesses, and we can learn from them because our differences are our strengths. It is vital to build relationships both inside and outside our companies to enhance our networks. Mentors can pave the way to new opportunities. As our own advocates, we must seek to connect with others across all walks of life. We matter to one another. Once a relationship is established, we can help each other to succeed. Reinforcing positive communication and according respect to everyone are the keys to being an inclusive leader. Overall, it was a rewarding experience, and I'm grateful to my company, Urban One, and my boss for nominating me for this seminar. Self-improvement is a lifelong process, but I really value the people I have met and look forward to engaging with them in the future. I will take what I have learned and apply it to my work and personal life. It is more than just a career seminar. What I have discovered are true life lessons.
Thank you, Vivian. Good afternoon. I'm Tracy Steel, a manager of business systems analysts in IT at Charter Communications. This NAMIC leadership seminar has made an impact on me both personally and professionally. The seminar has brought forward concepts I thought I knew, such as networking, mentoring, and the elevator speech. It also taught me new concepts, such as transformational listening and total life portfolios. Each day brought light bulb moments, such as day one, where I learned that the standout strength roles of teacher and pioneer are supported by continuing to spend time learning. Day two's light bulb moments, and there were many, came from the 6 soft skills, providing kudos to reinforce goal-directed behavior, dropping the to-do list and keeping a done list, transformational listening, which demonstrates respect, having your ears and heart open, your mind still, your mouth shut, giving the gift of your attention, all of which increases psychological safety. And an expansion of our SMART goals. We all know about SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. We make them smarter by adding E for engaging. What motivates you to get this goal done? R for reinforced. Who is going to help you celebrate? Where and when and how? Day 3 brought about mentors and sponsors, and the 9 different types of mentorship that individuals and leaders need. I had no idea there were 9 of them: sponsorship, career advisor, advocate, investor, networker, role model, supporter, sounding board, ally. Day 4 for me was the most intense, talking about executive perspective, and how to be the best you, talking about inner peace and purpose. The light bulbs that lit up for me were love what you have, something I need to practice every day. Another one was wake up, be present to see and be seen, rise up to become you, adapt to be your best self. Show up, embrace and express all that you are. Another light bulb was it's okay to be lopsided in what you stand for and who you are. We're not perfect. And when we strive to be perfect, the stress of that is detrimental to our strengths and our health. The fourth light bulb that day was how do we spend our time? Do we budget our time or let our time budget us? We need to create a life portfolio to figure out where we spend our time currently so we can determine how we want to spend our time in the future. The second part of the day, we talked about unconscious bias mitigation and microaggression, which brought up internal questions for me of what are my unconscious biases? Have I ever performed microaggression? Have I ever witnessed it? This particular topic brought up a very long conversation with our Talk, Engage, and Align group, and I feel like it brought us all closer together. I have many goals that came out of this NAMIC leadership seminar for me to work on for the next quarter. And I feel that doing these and meeting these goals will help me and improve my leadership. And the goals that all of us have set will help and improve each one of our leadership. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you, Maria, Allie, Tanisha, Vivian, and Tracy, for those wonderful words and reflections. And thank you to your fellow groups in your T groups for nominating you to share the insights. And now it gives me great pleasure to present to you the September 2022 NAMIC Leadership Seminar Cohort Class. Please enjoy this graduation presentation. Thank you so much. Congratulations again to all of our graduates. And now it's time to recognize a few for some special awards that we have are going to confer on them at this time. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Amy Kemp. Amy.
Thank you, Dr. Daly, and welcome again to all of you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share with you just some fun awards and things that we have recognized over the course of this week. It has been a tremendous blessing to me personally, and I feel honored to be able to just call out a few people, and I hope to do so in a way that makes them feel both special and appreciated. The first award that we have is the Top Participant Award. Dr. Daly, in our conversations about individuals who we might consider for this award, said, can we call it the All In Award? Because this individual was all in every day, every session, every chat, every breakout, every homework assignment. And so you understand when I say that with such emphasis that we were all impressed with this particular individual. So it is my honor to give that award to Maria Medina. Thank you so much for your engagement this week. Now you will also see that we have an honorable mention on this slide, and I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the TEA, that's Talk, Engage, Align group. These individuals met together after the end of the day, each day. Group number 2 took very seriously some concerns, perhaps concerns that we had that, we want to make sure you're using your time wisely. After hearing that bit of encouragement from Anne Marie Burton, this particular group had to have the doors closed upon them because they continued to engage throughout their session. So we want to give an honorable mention. You were terrific participants as well. The second award that I have to give is the Above and Beyond Award. And there would be occasions during the week when the presenter would say, if you would type in a word, a phrase, a sentence that gives us some indication of what your breakout session was all about. And I would look to the side and I would see just that, a word, a phrase, maybe a sentence or two, until this individual chimed in. And then it was a full thought, a full paragraph, 2 or 3 sentences. And so I want to give the Above and Beyond Award to Sarah Vanna. Thank you so much for making certain that we understood everything that was said in your breakout groups. I want to move on to the High Five Award. And I love this one particularly because I think we learned about this participant most of all on Tuesday, following Monday Night Football, following the win of the Philadelphia Eagles. So we call this the High Five Award because I have a feeling this individual has given a lot of high fives in his time, but he also gave those high fives to our presenters, making certain that he followed up to say, I very much appreciated that. I'm so thankful that you gave us that information. And it was rich. His conversations with those presenters were not only rich and full, but very heartfelt. So I would like to recognize Whitney for making that effort. An honorable mention as well to Tank Johnson, because we saw you doing those exact same things. Whitney was just a little more verbose, let's say, and definitely used every part of his background to show us who he was. And we love that about you, Whitney. The fourth award I have to give is what we will call the Mr. Conscientious Award. I'm going to keep private what I learned about this particular individual in a session that we just ended, but it made even more sense to me why this award should be given. I particularly want to note that there was a time when this individual chimed in after the groups had already been dismissed, and he came back into the meeting room and he said, I don't want to get this wrong. Can you make sure that you have gotten my notes right? Did I upload those right? I have a feeling it meant a lot to him because he was listening. He was listening very well. He was taking good notes and he was representing his team well. So I want to give the Mr. Conscientious Award to Vincent. And the last award I have to give is the Ahead of the Game Award. And I found it interesting that in a time of reflection this afternoon, Dr. Daly called out this very thing. And that, in fact, was the fact that sometimes folks that are a part of these cohorts have already been voracious readers, have already taken in a lot of great information, and they want to share that with their other participants and their cohort members. And so we're going to give the Ahead of the Game Award, mostly because of her book knowledge and her desire to make that known to everyone else, to Carla. Thank you so much for being a part of this week. Those of you who have received these fun awards from us, be looking in your email this week. There is just a little bit of a gift that we want to give to you, but it is our honor to have watched from kind of the fly on the wall perspective and to see all of these wonderful things happening. It has been our honor and privilege. Anne Marie, I think you're up.
Wow, congratulations to all our winners. Great job, everyone. What can I say? What a journey it has been. I hope that we'll continue to see you and engage with you. I did tell you about those surprise awards, so hopefully now you see what I meant with that. I do know that you will be recommending other people. Please don't tell them. Just let them come and be who they are. Do not cheat on that part. Promise me that. And I hope that we'll see you in October. And even if we don't, we do have a happy hour. Please come and let us know how things are going during the happy hour. Part of learning is that continual engagement. We look forward to seeing you. Again, we're hugging you from here. Have a blessed weekend, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Anne Marie. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, all of you, for being here with us today to celebrate this auspicious occasion. But most of all, I want to thank all of the participants for this cohort. Again, you made it what it was. Take what you've learned, share it with others, and run and soar. We've got your back, and we are so grateful for you and anticipate wonderful things for your future. It has been our pleasure to have you here. We wish you all the success. And now it's time to celebrate. Thank you.